Hey there, safecrackers, get your combinations ready because it is time for the Comic Vault! That's right, and today on the Comic Vault, I have a little book, a little 4-issue series that was recommended to us by Super Saiyan Mexican, so thank you, Super Saiyan Mexican, and it is Ultimate Captain America, the 4-issue Ultimate Captain America series. I have to say that you don't really have to twist my arm to get me to read a book by Jason Aaron. It's by Jason Aaron, a local KC writer who does fantastic stuff, who most of the stuff I read from him otherwise, even, say, Punisher Max, I really enjoyed. And my #1 is signed by him. Yay! But I don't actually own this book. This is, I checked this out from Johnson County Library here in Overland Park, KC. Anyway, Ultimate Captain America. I have to say that I read the first issue of Ultimate Captain America, and I really thought it was kind of iffy. I thought it was going to be a little too preachy. I thought it was going to be a little too in-your-face about particular issues. I get a little leery of things that get super political. I don't mind political thrillers. I don't mind political drama. But when something stands up and says, I have an agenda, I find that to be off-putting because particularly I have my views. I don't necessarily try to force my views on other people, but when I'm reading something that is all about being a mouthpiece for a particular type of politics, I find it to be off-putting. I think that's the best way to say it. It's the way I just said it, so I'm going to say it again. But it's really not for me, and I find it to be faulty storytelling. However, Jason Aaron manages to find a nice medium ground to walk. He finds a nice middle ground, rather. And the thing that's really interesting about how he does this is it's not just about being a mouthpiece. He does have certain little inserts of politics, but he doesn't make that the focus. The focus is whether or not Captain America can be broken. So in other words, what I'm saying is that this is a story that's not about politics. This story, Ultimate Captain America, is about whether or not a man is given an opportunity to change, and will he take it? And that's what a story is. And I was really leery of this. I couldn't believe that I enjoyed this so much. But after the first issue seems like it's setting it up to be the political mouthpiece, as I said. But the story in Ultimate Captain America is about Captain America, and I'm going to ruin the first issue for you, but I'm not going to ruin the entire 4-issue series. The story in Ultimate Captain America is about Captain America meeting, and here's the big spoiler warning, guys. He meets the Captain America that the U.S. government made to fight in the Vietnam era. So, if you've ever wanted to see Captain America, or what Captain America would be like if he were to have gone through Vietnam as opposed to World War II, this is it. And I think it's fairly accurate. So Captain America is obviously, he was frozen in ice, and he gets unfrozen, and he becomes Captain America. The one that we know, Steve Rogers. There's another guy by the last name of Simpson, who he is the Vietnam era, and he just deserts in the middle of the Vietnam War. He gets a really big body count. The government thinks it's great, and then he deserts and he tries to join the other side, I believe. So he established himself in Vietnam. So, and that's where he is today in this story, and that's where the story is going to really kick off. So he captures Captain America and tortures him. That's where the story opens up. Then we get a flashback, and then we see Captain America coming up to the part where he's being tortured. And the idea is that Simpson is trying to make Steve Rogers believe that he's correct. If he can make the World War II Captain America believe in the things that the Vietnam Captain America believes in, and how the American government is faulty in certain ways, if he can make that guy come over to his side, then that validates everything that he's really felt about about Vietnam, about the government, about everything. I really enjoyed this because it wasn't about validation. It was about, will Captain America be validated or not? And there's some religious themes that get added into this a little bit. Personally, I think that the idea of trying to tie being a Republican and being conservative, or excuse me, that does make sense. Being a Republican and being a Christian to the same, tying those two things at the hip, I don't think that necessarily works. It does in reality. I understand that that's the way reality is, but in a story, I'm a little leery of that. They use some of these same tropes in here, which is okay. They're not in your face. They're not the only thing to latch onto. And Captain America starts trying to identify with the Christian way of doing things, which is fine. And the reason I bring that up is that it's interesting in this book because he is really just a dual-sided character. He doesn't necessarily do Christian things. He's a soldier. He kills people, and yet he can reconcile that. So it's interesting to see the way the psychology works, and it's interesting to see how he interacts with other people who are willing to accept the idea that maybe a soldier's work is not the same thing as God's work. And I don't have a lot more to say about this book. I think it's totally worth checking out. And I feel like it's kind of brave that that Marvel Comics would use a sort of a more adult theme in their Ultimate titles, because as we've seen before, the Ultimates were about trying to get teenagers to read, or it was really targeting the teenage audience. And this even says parental advisory on the back, and there's some really dark things in here, and it's really kind of uncomfortable to look at times. But it's still Captain America, and it still has that air of being, well, patriotic, I suppose. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to let you guys check it out for the rest of the story. And I really enjoyed it. Ultimate Captain America. Check it out. Also, I can't let you get out of here without hearing about the Comic Vault. The Comic Vault. Vast, unknown amount of comics. Well, probably more like a known amount of comics. But still, it's a vast amount of comics. And you can donate to or buy from the Comic Vault. Just go to wearegeeksnotnerds.com and click on the Comic Vault. You can also donate to, or send us whatever you like, as long as it's not lewd or disturbing, to our P.O. Box for Geekvolution, which is Geekvolution P.O. Box 14183, Lenexa, Kansas 66285. So thanks for watching the Comic Vault, guys. Tune in next time. I got something in my throat. Thanks for watching the Comic Vault. Tune in next time where I'll be reviewing a couple more comics. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.